But today we're talking Club World Cup. We're talking about what exactly happened, why it happened, and who's in the running to be replaced, and how is it going to be chosen.
No, yeah. So basically, LD. Excuse me if I butcher this, but Alajuelense went ahead and they said, hey, this is not fair. These two teams are owned by the same owner. By the per the FIFA rules, we're gonna take this to court, and they shouldn't have two teams in the tournament. So FIFA kind of looked into the case and then said, yeah, you're right. This is in the rules. So Club Leon, unfortunately, you're not available to compete. But honestly, this is crazy to me because they just landed James, like one of the biggest transfers in the CONCACAF region because he wanted to play for this Club World Cup. So do we see James move to a team that what is in the Club World Cup? Like, does he go on a free somewhere? Is it possible? So it's interesting to see. But yeah, I mean, what about MLS? Right? Like,
Well, yeah, I was shocked. I was shocked they didn't go for him. I thought that James was a shoe-in for some team needing a DP10, and I was ashamed that nobody picked him up. But yeah, it's a huge blow, isn't it? Right? That was going to be like prime time viewing, and even if I just clicked up here
yeah.
the Athletic article, and it's James's face like in his Club Leon, like what are we doing here? Why am I not playing? Right? And
Well, and
it is.
also
Oh,
for
you
the
got.
fans that were gonna go to the games, right? Like you remember the Colombian fan base for Copa America, the
Oh yeah.
final, right? Like there's tons of Colombians in the United States that would love to see their best player, right? So yeah, man, that is I don't know, kind of crazy to me if you really think about it in terms of like marketing and in terms of selling tickets, uh, especially with Club Leon having James you almost think like they should have said no to Pachuca, right? So it's just it's kind of odd that they chose the team that's probably more popular.
Yeah, yeah. I wonder if that's a sporting thing, like if Leon got in last, so they were the first ones out type of thing. I'm not so
Right.
sure on that. But it was funny because my brother and my dad, I'm in South Carolina now. I'm from New York originally. They were coming down to watch my brother's a huge Chelsea fan. They're coming down for the Club World Cup because they're playing in Atlanta. The game we were supposed to go to was Chelsea Leon.
Oh wow.
And now we're like, okay, what happens there? So I kind of wanted to pick your brain, like, who's in the running for this? Is there somebody like who is kind of primed into it? Do we know kind of if there's like a short list?
Yeah, look, I mean, Club America thinks they should be in there because they're at the top of the CONCACAF ratings. LD Alajuelense was the one that brought up the case, so they feel like they should be in there. There's a lot of people that believe the Galaxy should be in there because they won the actual MLS Cup last year and not the Supporter Shield. So they should be in the tournament, as well as LAFC. They lost in the final to Club Leon. So imagine the heartbreak of, Cherundolo losing at home 1-0, and then eventually you still end up in the Club World Cup, right? So no, it's gonna be a weird one. I'm not gonna lie to you. And it's something that how you said it was a sporting decision, like the
Mhm.
Pachuca gets in because they made it in before, but we're not talking about the cleanest organization here, guys. We're talking about FIFA, right? Like, so I don't know why all of a sudden FIFA feels like they need to take the high road on this one, especially when they're going to lose ticket sales. Like, if Alajuelense makes it, they're gonna lose ticket sales. Like, I kid you not. So to me, this one's interesting. I think like I said, my idea was a good one, and I think it's actually a great one because you can build up some hype for this tournament, and maybe some teams take it more seriously, and maybe some teams build up some anticipation for this tournament with those ideas that I had. But basically, in my opinion, I think Club America has a big shot, and it's a Mexican team. According to the rules, you can only have two teams per country, so technically MLS can't have another team. But then again, we're talking about FIFA here, right? So this is a thing where it's like, well, we'll bend the rules because of the decision they did for Miami. The Galaxy should have a chance. LAFC lost; they're the runner-up that year, and then I've even seen people say the Philadelphia Union because of the Concacaf kind of ratings they've had, and the Columbus Crew too. The Concacaf standings they've had the last couple of years, they feel like they should have at least a shot. And shoot, why not? Why not? Let's do it. Let's go ahead and have this crazy mini thing that I was talking about to build anticipation for the Club World Cup because you know what? Where's the integrity? There is no integrity. This is a brand new thing, so we can do whatever we want. So I saw the joke saying, that's why we have Leagues Cup, so shoot, make Leagues Cup earlier. Let's see him fight for it.
Matt, I'm gonna read my definitely not pre-scripted thing. FIFA is not corrupt, and what they did to Inter Miami was absolutely fair. They earned it, and pay me now, please. No, no. So I want to get your thoughts, or I want to get you to share this idea because I thought it was really, really good. You were proposing a mini tournament just to get in for this last spot. I'd love to hear more about it.
Yeah, look, I mean, I kind of just thought of it on the spot, and I said, hey, what's a great way to kind of build anticipation for a tournament in a region that already has people that are not too interested in it? Why not have Club America, Columbus Crew, LAFC, LA Galaxy, LD Alajuelense, all these clubs that feel like they should be a part of it? So maybe six clubs go at it in some sort of round robin. Maybe I want to say two sides of the bracket. You give one team a bye, and then you have a semifinal and the final, basically. So I think that should be what FIFA should do to kind of. I mean, I think it's the safer bet for them, to be honest, because at this point, if you give it to Club America, well, then LAFC is going to be like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Well, I mean, we're the runner up. And then Galaxy is going to be like, whoa, we actually won the MLS Cup, So I think the safest bet is to let people try to actually qualify on their own. And Leagues Cup is tough because you don't have the Costa Rican team in there. But why not just invite them? Make Leagues Cup a little earlier this year and invite them. And then you could use Leagues Cup to fill that void. But yeah, that seems like a little bit of a crazier idea. But I think having some sort of mini tournament, maybe 3 games per team at most, is something that I would be very interested in doing. And you already have the venues, so you might as well just play them at the venues you feel like will you need the to get hit the ground running to get the fans involved, right? So personally, Club America is going to be a draw anywhere in the country, so you can put them anywhere. But like, yeah, I'm excited for it. I think if you have an El Trafico for a Club World Cup spot, that would be the most crazy El Trafico, because it would be the most important El Trafico. But it's funny because I think both of those teams are at their weakest in the last 5 years. So
Yes.
it's gonna be. I mean, the Columbus Crew too, right? So it's
Yeah.
just gonna be funny because all these teams are if let's say an MLS team gets in, will they get the extra TAM right now? How does that work, right?
Right.
Will they get it in the next secondary transfer window? Like, so no, this is very interesting, and it's of course it's FIFA to come mess up everything they prepared for the last 6 months. So I just think it's odd the decision making now too. Like you could have done this in December when the case was brought up, right? So
Right.
to do it 3 months later, 3 months before the tournament, is something that it baffles me a bit.
It's leave it like you said, leave it to FIFA to mess this up. Like I'm absolutely shocked that the people who couldn't put on the was it the Copa America final that we couldn't
No,
handle.
that was actually Conmebol, but
Oh, okay, okay. So
same light,
I've
the same
heard two
light. Yeah.
stories on this. I've heard two sides of this. So I'm still not sure exactly where it is, but it's just it's baffling, like you mentioned. It's baffling that it's taken this long. They're like, oh man, we're 3 months out and we don't know who the last team is. And then you need to organize, like you said, tickets, and you need to organize the
Right.
like. I don't know who I'm watching in
Right.
June, July. I don't know who I'm going to see play, which is kind of crazy. Um, and that's not the face, and especially with how much hate that this Club World Cup has gotten already, it
Yeah.
is like the cherry on top for the people who are like, "We told you so," you know?
Right. Well, why
Uh,
don't they just throw a curveball? Just put Al Nasir in there. No, it's just
yeah,
like
right. Yeah, let's
just,
do it. Strategically put them on the opposite side as Inter Miami, and definitely don't
just
find a way to make sure they meet in the final, right?
let's just throw a curveball. Why not? So, like, see, that's why it's so difficult, right? Because like, what's stopping you from throwing Al Nasir into the Al Nasser into that little mini tournament beforehand, right?
Right.
Like, but then you get Ronaldo in the United States, right? So like, why not? So you get Ronaldo versus Club America in LA. I would be there.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Like so it is interesting. It is fun to talk about. But yeah, like if you're FIFA and FIFA being as hungry as they are for dollars and getting their stakeholders every single penny, why not just run 4, 5 extra games? Like I get it. Players play too many games, but I think MLS can take a couple games off during the season. Maybe their main players. Bouanga maybe doesn't have to play 34 games this year, So personally, I think it could be done. Yes, players play too many games already, but this is a once in a career opportunity for a lot of people sometimes.
Oh yeah.
So this is if they want to take this tournament and make it into something very serious and very something or something that they really look forward to every 4 years, this is a great way to get it started. Kick off the ball, kick the ball rolling with a mini tournament for sure. I mean, shoot, now I'm just getting excited thinking about
Right.
Ronaldo. Like if they could throw that type of team in there too.
Well, I think that is a bridge too far as I look here and see that the last time they won anything at Al Nassr was before Ronaldo stepped foot over there. So that may be a touch too far, but it's funny because I love when people are baffled when FIFA do things for money. It's like, how could they?
Right.
I'm sorry, were you living under the rock the last 20 years? Like, what do you mean, how could they? This is their entire marketing thing is that we need money. We don't really care how we get it. That's what do you mean you're shocked by this? That's crazy.
Right. Yeah, I mean, what if they pull a special invitation guest? Like all Nasser, right? So they really can do anything, and they don't get any pushback. So, personally, you know, I gotta keep it cool because my credential's gonna say FIFA, So, uh, but in all reality, they can do whatever they want.
Yep.
And personally, I just don't see it going to Alo Alense because they're unfortunately the smallest team possible. And knowing FIFA, Club America seems like the one that would sell tickets.
hmm Yep. That's what I was gonna. That was kind of where I was leading for the last question. This topic was, well, who do you think it's gonna go? And I
Yeah,
think if it was done right, you're looking at LAFC and trying to
right,
figure it out with that because you're right. If it wasn't, but then you'd have to bump somebody else, right? Because if you mentioned the two club thing, and that would mean bumping Messi. Good
right.
luck with that, right? Not
Yeah,
happening.
yeah,
Um, and then you think about okay, well, Alajuelense is on the bubble there. I don't know I don't know how they kind of get in, work into this. I don't know if they were the next team up that they got beat out by this club. I don't know how that works, but if they're just like, oh wait, this isn't fair, you're going to look to replace them with a Liga MX side then because of the two per country rule, and then yeah, Club America being at the top of the standings would just make sense, right? And you're right. It doesn't matter
they
where
three
that team goes. They will sell tickets, they will make money, and you will get a lot of people through the door.
and they three-peated, right? So it's like no
Right.
question. If you're gonna go with the Mexican team, it has to be Club America, in my opinion.
Yeah. Well, it'll be definitely very interesting to see how they go about it, because it's going to have a big impact on an already really frowned upon tournament structure in the first place. So definitely something to keep an eye on there. But I do want to transition here just a little bit into the All-Star game and kind of